Okay, so let's jump right in. We're going to tackle one of the biggest questions out there. Why do we do the right thing? Is it just about checking boxes and following rules? Or is there something much, much deeper going on in our hearts? This verse from way back sets the stage perfectly. It tells us that our simple acts of obedience can mean more than even the biggest, grandest gestures. But what does that really look like? What is true obedience? Because, let's be honest, in the world we live in today, disobedience isn't always some big, dramatic rebellion. Pastor Lucinho points out this really subtle trap that so many of us fall into. He calls it mea obedience, which basically means half obedience. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's when we're doing the right thing on the outside, but on the inside, our hearts are just not in it. We're just going through the motions. And this is where it gets really real. Look at these examples. We might stop at the red light, sure, but we're fuming with anger behind the wheel. We say we love the Bible, but it just collects dust on a shelf. These little compromises, these little internal rebellions, well, that's a form of disobedience. I mean, think about it. If God just wanted mindless rule followers, he could have just made robots, right? Programmed to do exactly the right thing every single time. But he gave us free will. Why? Because he wants obedience that comes from a real, genuine choice made from the heart. So if our heart is so important in all of this, let's break down some of the flawed reasons we obey. What are the wrong motivations that can trip us up? First up, the most basic one, just plain old fear. We do the right thing because we're scared of what will happen if we don't. We're afraid of getting punished. But Scripture is so clear about this. Perfect love drives out fear. God doesn't want a relationship based on you being afraid of him. That's not love, that's intimidation. Okay, number 2, the bargaining chip. This is the transactional approach. All right, God, I'll do this for you if you give me what I'm asking for. It turns faith into a negotiation. And this totally warps what prayer is supposed to be. It's not about rubbing a magic lamp to get 3 wishes. It's supposed to be a conversation, a relationship with a father. It's about connection, not just getting stuff. And this one's a big one. The trap of doing the right thing just so other people will see us and think we're great. Our faith becomes a performance for an audience. And the pastor has this killer metaphor for it. He says it's like having a beautiful, stunning shop window. It looks amazing from the street, but if someone tries to open the door and come inside, there's nothing there, just an empty room. All show, no substance. And the list goes on, right? Things like doing something just because that's how we've always done it, or trying to impress God, as if he doesn't already know our hearts, or acting out of guilt, trying to pay back for past mistakes. Or worst of all, just pure, joyless obligation, where it all feels like a heavy weight on our shoulders. Okay, so we've torn down all the wrong reasons. Let's flip the script. If it's not fear or rewards or what other people think, what's left? What is the one true reason God actually wants? Seriously, let's think about this. If you strip away all of that external pressure and all those internal bargains, what is the pure, core reason for obedience? And the answer is so simple, but it is so profound, it changes everything. It's love. That's it. Not a duty, not a deal, a genuine, heartfelt response of love. But this kind of love doesn't just pop up out of thin air. It follows a path. First comes knowledge. You can only truly love what you know. So you get to know God. And from that knowledge, real, genuine love starts to grow. And then something amazing happens. Obedience stops being a chore. It becomes the easy, natural thing to do. And this quote right here, wow, this is a game changer. My love only has the size of my knowledge. So if your obedience feels hard, if it feels like a burden, the answer isn't to just try harder. The answer is to know God better. The more you know him, the more you'll love him, and the easier it will be to obey. This whole concept is laid out so perfectly for us in the story of 2 very different kings from the Bible. You have King Saul on one side. He was the king of half obedience. He did things for show, out of fear, always cutting corners, and he lost everything. But then you have King David. Now, David was far from perfect. He made huge mistakes, but at his core, he truly loved God. His obedience came from his heart, and that's why he was called a man after God's own heart. So what does this story show us? It's that the why behind what you do is actually more important than the what. Saul and David both obeyed sometimes, but their motivations, the state of their hearts, led them down completely different paths. And that really brings us to the final, most important question, the one we have to ask ourselves. When you really get quiet and examine your own heart, why are you doing the things you do? Is it a heavy burden, a transaction, a performance, or is it a joyful, natural response to being loved?